I made a sandbox game and accidentally made it in C++. Before getting started, of course, I'd had to pick the game engine or framework I would make it with, as that's certainly important. I'd probably use something I'm really familiar with, right, to make the process much easier. Maybe something like Godot, or maybe Unity, maybe Unreal, or maybe something new like Game Maker. I made it without a game engine. Okay, so maybe I'd pick an easy programming language, right? Maybe Python, C Sharp, or JavaScript. I made it in C++. To begin with, I had some experience in C++, but nothing too crazy. I first started by searching for what game library I'd use, and eventually stumbled and decided on Railib, which is available in many languages such as Python, C, and many more. Well, even if it's in C++, it can't be that frustrating, right? Of course, I started by creating the project and naming it after my favorite game, Google Snake. The initial goal was to make an underwhelming sandbox such as Minecraft or Terraria or Google Snake. I started by setting up the project and testing some stuff. After just writing some simple code, I opened read the Relive examples, and from there I wrote some boilerplate code to create a window. After that, the first question is, how can I manage blocks? Well, everyone's approach is different, but I did it using a 2D array. What's a 2D array? It's basically like a matrix of rows and columns, so each element holds a value. In this case, blocks. We would give these blocks each value using enums. What are enums? Enums are basically ways to assign values to names. Right now we just have a 2D array with values. I don't think that's a game. Next step was to draw using the draw function in Relib. Previously I told you how we gave box values on enums, right? So air equals 0. Now the for loop will iterate over the entire 2D array and check if the value of a specific element is the same as air, and if it is, draws a blue rectangle on the place. Similarly, if a specific element is the same as grass, the grass texture will be drawn. If it's below a certain Y level, then make it grass. Then make the space below dirt. Now we have something. The next step was to add the ability to place and break blocks. First I defined a set block function and then thereafter wrote the definition for it. Now we just need to know where the mouse is. For this we can do mouse pause by tile size to get the tile where the mouse is on. So I coded the remaining logic, and yeah, this is what we get. So yeah, interesting. Breaking blocks is just as simple. We just set the block where the mouse is to air. As you can see, the next step was to add blocks. To add more blocks, a lot more, I decided to make something like a hotbar. But since I'm dumb, it took me some time as I normally use a game engine. Anyways, I figured it out. So now we have blocks and a lot more, and we can build more stuff. I guess here's a cool looking house. Think. By the way, I had to rewrite a lot of the code logic since the hotbar wasn't compatible with the old one, since it was pretty messy. Now next up was a saving system, which is pretty easy. You remember how we assigned numerical values to blocks, right, and stored it in a 2D array. We can just store that array to a text file and load it for loading. Next, I just coded it and worked pretty fine. I just opened it and placed some blocks and just saved it. And when you open the file explorer, we can see that the text file is stored and we can see the numerical values according to what we saved. So using the system, we can load and save. So that's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm aware that the editing and the voice for this video is pretty lackluster. That's because I'm pretty sick right now. You will expect more higher quality of content in the future videos. So thank you for watching. And yeah, see you.